Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamos Report. I'm your host, Afridamos. I want to welcome all of you on today's edition of Unmasking Blaxit, colonialist in blackface. And I'm going to state my case for people to hear what I'm about to say. And it's going to be backed by videos through her own mouth. Because you see, many people today just rely on what they hear on social media, but they don't know the historical context of these places that people are visiting, quote unquote, talking about Pan-Africanism. Because people want to speak in terms of Pan-Africanism, right? But you cannot make up your own history. This is a fact. See, things that haven't happened yet, none of us know what it is. We don't know what tomorrow holds, but we know what yesterday was. So to try to come to Africa, especially Gambia, and create your own history to make it seem like our entire history is based solely on slavery. But that's not true. That's not the fact. Did it happen? Sure. Sure, it did. But that's not the entirety of that history. And before I get into that, ladies and gentlemen, before I get deep into it, let us all give a big shout out to Njeme Njai and wish her a happy birthday. This is her birthday, and Njeme, happy birthday to you. I hope you had a great, great birthday celebration and continue to have it over the weekend. Because, you know, my birthday official was in September, but it's still going on till December. So we can continue to celebrate that. But if you look at it, that region, that place has its own history. Okay? And the history is different from, you know, the slave history that Blaxit is trying to come and sell to the people. And I'm about to play some video clips here. And you guys would see the phoniness, the lies, how she's trying to get into the heads of the people, how she is infusing herself into the internal affairs of the country. Look, we don't operate that way. Just because you're black, you go to a nation, it's a sovereign nation. You don't have the right to speak on the constitution of that country, especially saying you want that constitution to be changed to fit your needs. And I think Gambian people have been way too complacent, far too long, to allow such nonsense to continue in that country. Because you see, there are many videos that you, me, and everybody, we didn't get the chance to see because she was going around in that country, giving different speeches, pretending to cry. I mean, it is very, very disgusting to say the least. I listened to some of it, and I can assure you, Gambian people, you are dealing with a real scammer. You're dealing with a real scammer, to say the least. See, I know many don't have the time to sit and try to, decipher these things, to understand the history of that country. This is why she wants to come there and say just whatever. She listens to what is being said, and then she takes it and run with it. And today, Gambia, people like her are not the only type of criminals. I would say yes, criminals. Because when you are lying to try to further your agenda by making the people change the constitution for you, that is dangerous. That is dangerous. Last time I said it here in my analysis, when she was having the back and forth with the Gambian people. Mind you, this is someone who said she wants automatic citizenship. She didn't have that automatic citizenship yet. And already any Gambian that disagrees with her, she would go hard at you, disrespect you, non-stop. Anyone that disagrees with her, she doesn't want to talk to them. And it is high time for you, Gambian, you the Gambian, to hold those MPs accountable, because they are playing with fire. They are playing with real fire. Because the things that I've seen, the things I've heard, it is called for concern. I know for many, it feels like just mere entertainment. But you know what? Oh, she's saying things, you guys think, oh, it's just silly. Let me tell you what else was silly to Africans. And Africans ended up paying the prices for it for over 400 years or less for most places. In 1884, when the Europeans decided amongst themselves that, look, we want to recognize our powers over these territories. They discussed this. They have agenda, right? They came to these places, they planted their flags, and many Africans back then just laughed. They're like, oh, look at these silly people. But you see, just because you are not thinking a certain way doesn't mean other people are not planning on taking over your territory. That's not the case. And we all know how that story ended up. Eventually, you had to kick those people out. You have Liberia. They brought groups of black people there. You guys all know how that story ended. It didn't end well. You cannot just come back to Africa and say you are a citizen of a country just because you're black. That's not how it works. It doesn't work that way. Because if that's the case, any one of us can just get up and go to, South Africa, Nigeria, any place and say, hey, look, I'm black. I'm over here. But what also should be of concern to you is you have many people today. They show up, they say, I have a DNA test. And my DNA test said, I'm from Gambia. People, this is not true. This is not true, okay? Let me tell you something. Majority of the slavery, Gambia was just a transit point. Yes, at one point, there was heavy slavery, but that was during the trans-Saharan slave trade. Most people that came from that territory you call Gambia was sent to the Arab world. You can read this because the first recorded history recorded about that place called the Gambia was in the 9th and 10th century. The Arab traveler called Ibn Battuta even wrote about the place. So majority was sent to the Arab world, not through the transatlantic slave trade. If when the transatlantic slave trade came around, it was just a transit point because they had wars in places like today you call Mali, deep in, further into the interior. So they needed that place because it's right on the Atlantic. Because you know how you know this? Go to Gambia. The people that live around the mouth of the river Gambia, how come they don't have history of slavery, saying, oh, stories of their people being taken? How come they don't have that? But go to places like Nigeria, along the coast, Ghana, even Sierra Leone, they have history. They could tell you that people were taken from here. Even Senegal slightly. So how can all these people just show up and say their DNA is from Gambia? No such thing. No such thing. I'm not saying some haven't been sent into slavery from there. That's not what I'm claiming. I don't want people to come back and say, oh, Afridama said they've never taken slaves from there. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not as common as people are trying to make it seem. Because even the Europeans themselves, you can go look at it. They have the chart. The slaves they were bringing from the Senegambia region, if they're originally from there, they used to be much more expensive because they were rare. They were rare. So I want to play a video here, a compilation that was put together. Very good compilation by Lamin Baku. Please go to his channel and subscribe. He did a good job. And I had the time to sit and watch the video. And I was like, wow, he did a great job. He added things there that myself, I didn't even see. And I'm going to break it down. You guys are going to hear her lies. Because if she is going to lie about things like what you guys are about to hear, this is serious. What else is she lying about? So for those of you that have good intention to move to Gambia, Africa, and other places, somebody like her have hijacked your movement, have hijacked your intentions, and completely bastardizes and whatever agenda she has, I can assure you it's not something good. It's not something good, because I'm going to prove that to you here today. I'm going to debunk all her lies that she was trying to spread. And I'm going to call out the Gambian MPs, because they have to remember back in the days, back in 1823, when the British had the ambition to colonize the area, to settle in there, the very place you call Banjul today, the capital, it was a swamp area. It was like a farmland. But the king of the Combo in that area was in charge of it. In 1823, he leased it to the British on a 100-year lease for 25 iron bars. I don't know how important these iron bars were, but that's what he leased the place for 100 years. And if you're Gambian, you know what ended up happening eventually. So these people you put in charge, you're saying, oh, they are in charge. If they are ignorant and they make ignorant decisions, they are selling the future of a country over hopes and empty promises. That's going to affect you. Eventually, you, the actual Gambian, you would be completely stripped of your rights of being a citizen of that country because of all these nasty shenanigans that they are trying to bring into that country. I know, like, you guys want to see things happening physically, thinking, oh, the only criminals are the ones that are going to steal from you physically, the ones that are going to rob you. No, some are mental criminals. They lay their plans, they walk it, misrepresent themselves. Have you ever, some of you that are from Gambia, you know this has happened before, where you're from a huge family, clan. When the leader dies, you have a complete stranger that comes from elsewhere and try to mimic you guys and say, oh, they are your long lost relative. So she's not the first time that is trying to pull this off. She's just doing it in English, in the Queen's language. Because, in Gambia, people believe if you're from the Western world, America or England, you have money, you have opportunities. Yes, you probably, have a little bit more than the regular people there, but don't buy the hype. Don't buy the hype. What can they really do for you? And I'm not speaking of all. There are some there who we don't see here online. They are doing their thing. They are not there trying to strong arm the government, saying they have to give them automatic citizenship, meddling into the internal affairs of the country. Because when you're speaking about changing a country's constitution, that is exactly what you're doing. You're saying, you're giving a middle finger to the will of the people. Again, I'm going to repeat this. It was the Gambian people who voted to enact that constitution. She wants to talk about colonial laws. You better be thankful for those colonial laws, because that's what's even allowing you to enter that country and say the things you're saying. If it was the law that was there, you wouldn't be able to do these things. You do realize that. So you better be thankful for the colonial laws that is giving you the right to even fly over, that is giving you the freedom of speech to go say this nonsense over in that country. But I don't blame her. I blame the ignorant people, the ignorant MPs. And this is why Gambian people, you should probably, speak to your families back there to vote against that Barrow, because he doesn't seem to know what the hell he's doing. Seriously. He doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing. Ever since he came to power, that's when all this nonsense began. And crime is at all-time high. In fact, I have a clip that I'm going to share with you guys here today. All types of different foreign nationals are pouncing on that small piece of land, trying to rob and steal from the people of the Gambia. And you have another one trying to steal your future from you by wrapping you into paperwork. That is how the inner workings of Satan is. Do you think most of these places that the white people colonized before Europeans, do you think it happened by strong arming the people with guns? No. They tricked the people into signing laws that favor them. That's what happened. So you guys better open your eyes. This is why I'm calling her a black colonialist, because she's using the same tactic, trying to use emotion to walk your emotions. But I don't want to keep you waiting any longer. I'm going to play this so that you guys can see for yourselves. But before we start, I got to play the Pan-Africanist song. All right. People, brace yourself and hear what this woman, the things that are going to be coming out of her mouth. Some of the parts, Lamin Baku, like I said, he did a great job. He put this compilation together and he featured, used my voiceover to explain some of the things. But we will break it down as we go, and you will see what their intentions are. Because, now they are looking for an inch. You guys, you remember back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, it was such a big deal for people to hear that somebody is gay. They used to speak on the news. They're like, oh, such and such just came out of the closet. And then the gay people are like, oh, we just want to be, treated equal. But, whatever you're doing in your bedroom, we're not aware of it. But there was an agenda. And now we saw the agenda. When they made it, seem normal to people, then they started getting married. Now we're seeing what is happening. Now they're telling you, you have to do exactly what they want you to do. We gave them an inch, they took a mile. And today, especially here in America, people are seeing what is happening. They don't like it. Even in California, the people voted against this same-sex marriage. Mind you, they voted against it, but they are going against the will of the people. That's because they were given an inch and they took a mile. They used all types of, techniques. They worked on your emotion. They called some of you haters. Oh, sorry, not Lamin Baku, Lamin Larsu. Excuse me, sorry. But I'm going to put the video up that Lamin Larsu put together for you to see. Beware, Gambian people. Beware. They are going to destabilize that country. You don't want that. They are bringing chaos and confusion. They are saying, they are giving a middle finger to the law of that land, which is the Constitution. Did you guys see what you're reading here? State of the African diaspora. These people are calling themselves the sixth region. So now it's making sense to you why they want citizenship, right? Trying to force it because they want to represent themselves as the people that are the leaders of the diaspora. Gambian people, that some of you that live in outside of Gambia, like me, mind you, here is a group of people who are not Gambians, who are not Gambians. They don't have no families there. They are only ties to say, I'm black. Oh, maybe my ancestor 39 million years ago probably was here. Now they took them away. So now we're coming back. They are claiming that they are Gambians. and they want to be recognized as such and given a position called the sixth region. And eventually, you give them citizenship, they would say, oh, we want our own membership. We, Juliet and Adrian, we are going to be the MPs for this sixth region. Do we, even the Gambians, have our own sixth region? You guys don't see how chaotic that would be? How do you think some, majority of Gambians are going to react to this if this ever comes to plan? You guys already know there is tension as it is. There is tension. But these people want to claim all this nonsense talking about the sixth region. Oh, we want you guys to change the constitution. If they are boldly standing out saying this right now, imagine if you give them the citizenship, what will happen? They're trying to bypass all that to corrupt your MPs and try to get in the head of the president. Beware, Gambian people. Beware.
Let's change the constitution. This can be done via.
Do you guys hear her? You see, I'm not the one making this up. You're hearing this from her mouth, saying, let's change the constitution. People, Gambian people, don't allow people to play with your country this way. How can a foreigner come in your country? Your country telling you, let's change the constitution. Who is let's? Like, who are you? Who sent you over here? People, this is a serious, serious issue. I don't think Gambian people, you guys are hearing me. I don't think you guys are hearing me. When the dam breaks, you're going to sit back and say, we should have listened to what Afridamus was saying. To just come and say, oh, we want this because I'm black, it doesn't mean a damn thing. It means absolutely nothing. She's originally from Jamaica. Jamaica is majority black. So if she is saying she just wants to be around black people, Jamaica has plenty of blacks. Same culture. You can go there and change the constitution. You have the right to do that. You can campaign for that. But you don't have the right to do this in another country. People, imagine a Senegalese, even next door, Senegalese, comes to Gambia and starts saying this. You people know it's not going to go well. So why can't she say it? Trying to destabilize your country.
A private members bill. We do not want to be discriminated against anymore. When we come back, we do not want to be seen as outsiders anymore.
You see what she is doing? Fabricating lies. She doesn't want to be discriminated against anymore. People, what British citizens or American citizens that go to Gambia and be discriminated against? Let's just answer that question. We don't want to be seen as outsiders anymore, but you are an outsider. What do you mean we don't want to be seen as outsiders? She's using the same logic where a man can come in front of you and say, I'm a woman now, so you have to accept it. If you don't, that means you are homophobic or you are a hater. Same logic. Like, what are you talking about? Just because somebody sees you as an outsider doesn't mean you are a bad person. It just means you are not from here. That's all. People, this is crazy.
We're outsiders over there. We do not need to be outsiders here. So to come home and to have to face a similar kind of discrimination is also harsh. So that's the reason why we've been appealing and campaigning. All the racism and discrimination that I faced. Yeah, we all damaged. Don't get me wrong. I'm damaged. I've got my own poison to deal with.
So you faced racism and discrimination. You do realize there's Gambians, tons of Gambians that live in England, where you came from, the UK. Okay? There's tons of them. How come they're not facing the same thing that you're facing? Hey, maybe you're making this up. Who knows? Or maybe, as you say, you are a damaged individual who is screwed up in the head. So now you want to bring that back to the Gambia. And she said, we're back home. Where is home? You see, people, this is how a real scammer acts. They come and force themselves onto you. They mimic you. They try to shame you into accepting them as one of you. This is what is going on. This is crazy. You guys are seeing a crazy person unravel right in front of you. I don't think you guys are really picking on, the subtle language here. You, me, and Ed, what country can we go to and make such claims? What country can we go to and make such claims? What other African you know? Even just Senegal. I'm telling you, Senegal, they speak Wolof. People speak Wolof in Gambia, Mandinka, Jola, you name it. Same kind of tribes. You think you can cross over from Senegal, or I cross over from Gambia to Senegal and tell them I'm back home? They'll be like, man, if you don't take your Gambian ass across the river, we would put you in the river and do it for you. So let's not play these games. Gambians, you know better than this. Don't play.
Well, we are Gambians in the diaspora, but we're not recognised as your aid state. This is discrimination. It's highly discriminatory. But our investment needs to be secure. And citizenship offers security. That's what everybody's not missing. You can sit there and everybody can sit there, but you're not sitting in our fragility. You're not.
So, as long as I've known, there were, Jamaicans in Gambia, there were British, Black American, even many, many years back. I have never heard any of them say they feel discriminated against, they are fragile being there. In fact, the people love them. The people love them. I've never seen one. I mean, like, we have Case in the chat. Case, you go to the Gambia quite a bit. You can attest to this. Have you ever faced any discrimination in the Gambia? That's not a Gambian thing. What is she talking about? All the people that we've seen, she's the only one saying this. She's so used to, using shaming language, shaming tactics in the UK, shaming white people. Hey, you can shame the white liberals into buying into this, but Gambian people don't allow this woman to use deception against you. She has the audacity to say, we are the Gambians in the diaspora. Ma'am, if you weren't born and raised in the Gambia, you are not a Gambian. But she's going to tell us her connection to the Gambia. What a lie she tells. This is criminal at best.
Sitting in our insecurity. You're not sitting in our fear. We had to do 3 jobs to survive. We had to keep ourselves warm. We lived in the cold. Bill after bill after bill after bill after tax after tax after tax.
Okay, I live in America. The part of America I live in is cold, but I don't live outside. Right now, it's super cold outside. Okay? And I gotta pay bills too. So just because you're tired of paying bills, you can't pay your bills, therefore you have to go to Gambia and shame them. Gambia, this should be a clue to you. Imagine fellow Gambian, you leaving the UK or wherever, going back to, they're like, why did you come by? You're like, oh man, I'm tired of paying bills. The people would laugh at you. You know this. They will laugh at you. Do you understand what she's saying here? She's pretty much saying she's a loser. I was a loser in the UK, so therefore I'm running, coming here. Okay, so you think in Gambia you're going to be living for free? But we know it's not true. You're still getting benefits from the UK. The bad white man that you always badmouth, that you're running away from, you're still getting benefits from him. So let's not play.
Do you know how long we've had to wait to get out? Do you know how hard it is for us to get out? Do you know how many of us can't even get out because we can't afford to? We don't have the money you think you have when you go to England. It doesn't work like that. We sold our 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. I sold.
So she had 5 bedrooms house when she lived in the UK. So the same person that was ranting, telling us how, in the cold, you got to do this, she had 5-bedroom house in the UK. How many people have 5-bedroom in the UK? So you want us to feel sorry for you. You had 5-bedroom house. But because you're tired of paying bills, now you have to accuse, everybody and their mama. Everything is everyone's fault. Nothing is your fault ever. Somehow, this world has to revolve around you. It's a mental problem, people. Mental sickness. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing here.
My Range Rover, my Mercedes convertible, and loads of.
She had Range Rover and Mercedes convertible. Oh, this poor lady, poor Juliet. I was suffering in England so much, but I had Range Rover, I had Mercedes convertible. Yeah, but you were suffering, right? Give me a break.
Other investments, I divested them to come here. So that huge amount of money that I sold would come here. I've got other investments I haven't divested because of the fact of the insecurity of the citizenship situation. I wouldn't swap a 5-bedroom, beautiful house, my Range Rover, my Mercedes convertible that I sold to come here. We came here just like everybody.
Did you guys hear this? She said she sold this. What does this have to do with Gambian people? You were living in the UK with in your 5-bedroom, your Range Rover, and your Mercedes. What does this have to do with any Gambian? Were you bringing people from Gambia that were living in that house? Obviously, that's not the case. You are so Gambian, right? You were living in the UK this whole time in that 5-bedroom with your Range Rover and your Mercedes, but somehow You couldn't find any of your Gambian relatives back then and, bring them, so they can explore those opportunities. But now you decided, you know what, I sold it. So therefore you guys have to respond to my demands. Juliet, what is the real story here? Tell us the real story. Because we could care less. You did this on your own. So for those of you that were following this lady, I hope you're seeing the reality, because I know many get so emotional. You see, she tries to invoke emotion into you so that you don't see the truth. But the truth shall set you free. I know it's hard for many to swallow the truth, but this is the reality. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm just unmasking this black colonialist using deception, trying to tap into your emotions so you can feel sorry for her. How many people in Gambia can afford a Range Rover? How many can afford a convertible Mercedes? How many can afford that 5-bedroom that she speaks of? So now you want to come and guilt those people into giving you what you want. So for those that like to say, "Oh, Afridamus, you shouldn't pick on this woman," I'm not picking on her. I'm just trying to point out the facts. I'm trying to point out the facts and the truth, because she's a snake. She's a real snake. So I wasn't even surprised that, the very people from the diaspora whom she said, keep saying, come home, come home. Ma'am, that is not your home. It is not your home. But that's besides the point. She picks, on gullible people who have the ambition to go to Africa because they want to follow that Pan-Africanist, thinking. So she positions herself so she can be the leader over them. And eventually we've all seen those people started accusing her of, some misdeeds. Are you guys surprised by that? So her whole stake, the whole stake here is deception. That's why I want to thank Lamin Larsu again for putting these videos together, because I didn't have the opportunity to see this.
Everybody else as heritage tourists, and heritage tourism is what really binds us to Africa. You're telling us we can only own our land for 30 years? Are you telling me I can't? Where's my land going to go? Where's my money going to go? Where's my inward investment going to go? I don't know what kind of system this is. I don't know how it works for us. We're in.
So guys, did you hear what she said here? So if what she's saying, oh, if you own the land, it's only for 30 years. So if that's the case, how come she didn't disclose this to you, that she is asking to send her money to buy you the land? Because you're not a citizen there. So let's continue.
Big trouble, because if we're building our homes and after 30 years we have to go and give our homes after 30 years to a Gambian, would you do that? Please. This is not fair on us. We're black.
Guys, you see the fake cry? You see the fake cry? This woman is a devil.
We're black, we're Africans, we are Gambians. Understand this. We shouldn't be here talking about this. We shouldn't have to beg.
Now you guys see why she wants that citizenship. It's for her own personal interest. That's what it is.
How do you trace your roots? Because we know during the slave trade, not all slaves were taken from the Gambia.
Guys, This young Gambian is so smart. He's so smart. The question he's about to pose to her, watch how she responds in a condescending way. This is why when somebody is lying, they would always create conflict when you ask questions. Did you guys see the fake crocodile tears? People, those of you that follow her, she's not doing you any justice because you are aligning yourself with a scammer, with a real scammer. But let's hear what this young man is asking and what her response is going to be.
They were slaves from different parts of Africa.
In fact, where you come from is an actual feeling. This is the wrong attitude, and it's a very neo-colonial attitude.
Shaming, shaming, shaming. So the guy asked her a real question, and she is trying to shame him by saying he has a neo-colonial attitude, and it's a feeling. The man wants to know, just like all of us want to know. She's saying he has a neo-colonial attitude. I know I've been hearing them. Anytime you bring up something as African neo-colonialism, fine. I'm a neo-colonialist, but can you please answer the question? Can you answer the question? What are you trying to hide? That's what I don't understand. Shaming, 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 but it's not going to work.
And it's a very unwelcoming attitude because you're not looking at the inward investment. What you're looking at is treating us as though we're foreigners, which we're not. You can trace your family surname down to the village or the country or the island that you come from. So we're able to trace where the ship debarked from. And in our case, the ship debarked from Gambia. So we can only...
Really? The ship left from the Gambia. Why don't you give me the year and the name of the ship? Because, you know, the records are there. We can go check it. So she started out by using shaming language, shaming tactics, so that the guy doesn't push back, you know, with the questioning. So she's obviously lying. This is why these people are so fake. They are faker than a $3 bill. They went and changed their names to Gambian names, you know, to calling themselves Nyancho Kujabi and Hatim Kujabi. All lies. You have to remember, Gambian, people would mimic you. They would mimic you to achieve their goals. And they are taking these names to the bank. It's not just any name. They are taking it all the way to the bank. Imagine if I all of a sudden change my name to John Anderson and saying I'm from some plantation in Georgia. So I can have the right to speak about reparation in America. That's what she's doing. It all lies.
Assume that the people came from the Gambia. I don't know where I come from in Africa. I just know that my soul felt connected here in Gambia, and that's why we're here. But I couldn't tell you where I'm from. So Gambia is actually my ancestral home. Okay. And
so she says she can't tell where she come from. It's all feelings, right? Now, listen to how she contradicts herself, just like she contradicted herself in all the previous talks, that she faced discrimination, is cold, she can pay the bills. Turns out she has had 5-bedroom house in the UK, a Range Rover, and a convertible Mercedes. Like, which one is it? You made it sound like you were sleeping, outside in the Canterbury up there, trying to beg the Queen, please let me into Buckingham Palace. She made it sound like that's what's happening. But it turns out she, in fact, had 5-bedroom, a Range Rover, and a convertible. So over here too, she said she doesn't know where they're from. It's about feelings. But let's hear her story, what she's about to tell.
That was through that information being passed down through my grandmother. So I knew that Gambia was my home, but I didn't know that Gambia was Gambia.
Did you guys hear the lie she just told? So she's using the word Gambia. So some of these local griots, they depending on what ethnicity they come from, they would some say Kambi. They cannot say the G. So they would say Gambia. But Gambia has been called Gambia as far back as we know. It's not today. You can go read in the 9th century, even the Arabs called it Gambia, Al-Gambia. What is she talking about? So she went and listened to some griots, and she heard the word Gambia, right? So she's like, ooh, now I'm gonna go say Gambia. She would have been better off, calling it the other name that we used to learn in school that other people called it Gambura. You were better off saying that Gambia. No, first of all, if you guys watch Roots, right? Even though some people try to say Kunte Kinte is not real, which they are crazy because his actual family, the people he came from, exist. They've passed this story on and on and on. But even in Roots, people, those of you that are from Gambia, even back in those days, mind you, it wasn't the country that it is today. They won't tell you I'm from Gambia. They would say I'm from Nyani, I'm from Kiang, I'm from Basse, on and on and on. In Roots, at least they were smart enough to make it like that. They didn't say Gambia. They say, Nyomi, the Nyomi, the river there, they named it. But when you say Gambia, where did your grandma get that information from? Where? Was your grandma a white woman? No, some people called it that. The people who, from other parts, like you say, the Badibunkas, they cannot pronounce the G. So they say Kambi. But it's Gambia. Because obviously, these people, the writers who came there and recorded the history, the people they met, obviously called it that. My people called it Gambia. That's how we pronounce it. We are not Badibunkas. Badibunkas have a hard time, pronouncing the G. So they say Gambia. So if she's a Badibunka, how did she end up with the, Nyancho Kujabi name? This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense.
At a taxi stand, and there was a man who looked exactly like my grandma, like my grandma's family, like my grandma's brother. So I asked him, and I said to him, it's weird because my grandmother told me that I'm from a place called Gambia, not Gambia, but I haven't been able to find it. And he said, no, I'm Mandinka. And so...
Do you see how she's looking at her like, you lying ass woman? This same woman was saying, it's just her feelings that brought her there, right? So when she's talking to people that she knows, they know the history for sure, she goes by feelings. She lies and lie. Really? She didn't know it was, even if somebody said to somebody in England, I bet you if he say Gambia, they will say, you mean Gambia? Please tell us, what year was Gambia called that? What year? Yeah, I'm not doubting that. She heard this from the griot because, she brings those griots to her house. See, that's where she messed up at. She brought those people there. We saw it on videos. So now she's going to go around and mimic it and act like, oh, this is my history. She's saying her soul is what connected her to the Gambia. And Golden Dame, you're right. Anyone can say the same thing. This is ridiculous.
We pronounce it Cambia and not Gambia.
I just don't like lies. I just don't like people just telling lies,
My foreparents are Gambians. We were just taken in slavery. So we are still Gambians. We were still taken from these shores. And so Gambian blood is still here. My great...
You guys remember when I pointed out that she's constantly, talking about Kunta Kinte and people thought I was being ridiculous. Now you see, huh? You see why. Okay, Juliet, why don't you tell us what village your grandmother came from? Man, your grandmother, her memory must be really, really sharp. And which generation of your grandmother? Because you look like you're definitely mixed at some point. So which grandmother are we talking here? This is madness, people. This is madness.
Great-grandparents are Gambian. And no one can tell me I'm not a Gambian. I have Gambian DNA. There's an exclusive on your show. I'll let everybody know my first husband was Gambian.
I just don't like lies. I just don't like people just telling lies,
She's no longer Jamaican. She was married to a Gambian and her DNA was altered, if you know what I mean. This woman is delusional.
My husband, please say your piece.
Guys, I'm gonna, in the middle of this, speaking of criminals in the Gambia, crime is really, really high there these days. So I'm gonna bring you a quick, breaking news on what is happening there of other foreigners, what they are doing in the Gambia. All right, let's bring our regular news here, about what is happening over there in the Gambia. I want you guys to see what other African nationals are doing. Here.
Today at the Bakoti police station explained how two Nigerians, one 46-year-old and a 36-year-old, got caught after being recognized as thieves that follow people in various banks using a motorbike to rob.
We are here today to report on the case of two Nigerian nationals, the ones that you are seeing over there. One is called Solomon Obilo, a 46-year-old Nigerian, and the other one is called Mentus Tunde. He is also a 36-year-old Nigerian. Actually, the reason why these people are here is because these individuals are being caught on a particular crime which they are specialized in doing, and that is they follow their victims to their banks and observe them. In fact, they lay some kind of a surveillance for this particular individual while he or she goes on with withdrawing cash from the bank. And they always mark out people who withdraw bulk cash from their banks, and then one of them will be in the bank while the other one is sitting on a motorbike outside waiting for you. Moment you withdraw your cash and you are out and about going, then he will signal or call this other individual to tell the person he is on his way coming out, and the motorbike owner will mark you. As soon as the other person comes out, then they will follow you on their bike. Wherever you go, they will be following you without your knowledge until you park your car at any point. Then they will decide to come over, break the car glasses, and steal money that you have put in the car. Or in certain instances, they could even forcefully rob you when you carry the money back with you.
Mr. Njai also added that these two individuals are migrant criminals. He said after stealing, they fly out of the country and come back again. But unfortunately, this time around, they were caught.
these people are sort of like migrant criminals. What they do is they come to the Gambia seasonally, because these people you are seeing from the passports that we are having, they have entered into the Gambia just this past Saturday, meaning that it was on Saturday that they came into the Gambia, and after Saturday, Sunday, they bought this motorbike you are seeing. Brand new motorbike they bought. It has not been registered anywhere in the Gambia, and they are using it running around in town, following people at the back. And what we have gathered as far as our experience is concerned is the fact that they do this once, twice or so, and they gather the money and they flee out of the country within the nearest possible time. So unfortunately for these people, this time around they could not get away with this, and they are being caught.
Superintendent Jaya told the press that these two were caught as they were robbing an individual who withdrew $120,000.
In this instance where they got caught, they were robbing that individual of $120,000. The individual withdrew $120,000 from his bank, and he put the money in his car. When the money was in his car on his way going, they followed him also. And so it was at the point when they were taking this $120,000 from his car.
Mr. Njai used the opportunity to commend the general public for their continued support in ensuring that criminals are caught. He also encouraged all to continue sharing information with the police to curb the spread of violent crimes. TFN's View, Mati Senghor.
Guys, you've seen that. You see what the Niger.
Okay. Yes, Daddy.
I don't think that Gambian DNA part sat well with him. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our regular news. Sometimes in the middle of the show, we'll have to bring breaking news. As you can see, Nigerians are over there in Gambia committing, as you guys see, robberies, not just computer crimes, but, armed robbery, as you can see. So Gambia, you have to wake up. You have all kinds of people descending upon that country, robbing people. And for those of you that want to visit, pay attention. Just because you see a black person doesn't mean they're Gambian. You see the Nigerians, they are coming there. They also are taking opportunity. So these people that are talking about, this Pan-Africanistic based things on skin color. I told you people, skin color means nothing. You see, like Nigeria is next door. It's not that far. Same black people. But look at what these criminals are doing once they enter the country. So it's a problem. So I want you to open your eyes. It's not about skin color. It's about character. It's about character. Okay? So let's continue with Juliet here. It's like, really? Did you have to talk about receiving a Gambian DNA from earlier? Come on now. You didn't have to disclose that information here. It's my first time even hearing about this one. Amazing.
We don't know where we're from, but we know where we want to come back to, and that's the motherland.
Juliet, why don't you tell us, why are you thinking to change their constitution to fit you? Why? This is the question we should be asking.
Listen, your former Prime Minister, and I'm going to say it, had the Roots Festival. I don't like to talk about politics, but I'm going to just go there.
Ma'am, all you do is talk about politics. How can you talk about changing the constitution without being political? Okay? It's all politics. I don't see any other person from England, Jamaica, or America right now residing in that country that are saying they are there, they are repatriating, they want to come back to Africa. I don't see any of them doing what you're doing. I don't see any of them sticking their nose into the things that you are sticking your nose in. Obviously, you've told many, many, many lies. Because 1 minute you were suffering in England, it was cold, you were sleeping in an ice box, and then it turned out you had 5 bedrooms. Okay? In fact, when you made that fake account coming and attacking me, telling me I'm destitute in America, don't forget that. Okay? I remember that exactly. I know you're mad because I'm not, presenting myself saying I am a victim, I'm suffering. If I was saying that, then we would be best friends because that's right along your storyline. If you notice, the American YouTubers there, the ones that relocated the bags and others, they might have their issues, but their issues is not about sticking their nose into the Gambian problems. How come she's the one saying, oh, you can only own the land for 30 years? How come we didn't hear this from the Bag family? I never heard this from any other foreigner. 30 years? She's lying. There are white people that's been living in Gambia way more than 30 years. They've built homes there and they still own them. What about that? Oh, I know. She's going to say because they are white. That's why, right? So this lady have the audacity to sit in front of Gambian people and lie. People, I want you to understand. See, when you try to always put race on these things, it just stops the conversation. It takes all logic out of the conversation. You start sounding like a mentally ill individual. Because if you're basing things on, oh, I'm black, we all black, I can see that. You saw the other, I just showed you the news. Oh yeah, people, oh yeah, they are Pan-Africanists. Those Nigerians were Pan-Africanists too. Until they rob you of all your money. Okay? So she is no different. She's telling too many different stories here, contradicting herself. That alone tells me she is up to no good. Whatever she has planned, it's not in your interest, Gambia. You must know this.
Right now, we were given automatic citizenship at the Roots Festival. Don't tell me it can't be done.
The president's plan was to give out 300,000 fraudulent voting cards to foreigners. This many foreign votes would be more than enough to sway the election in a country of under 900,000 registered voters.
I can say I'm better than anyone you would ever have in this country.
In the end, he managed 22 years of corruption, torture, and brutal political repression.
Look at that. That's him. One of the biggest Pan-Africanists. He's so Pan-Africanist, he didn't want to marry a Gambian woman.
The members of the Council of African Descendants have recently enjoined our lawmakers to come up with an automatic citizenship bill to enable them become citizens of the Gambia.
Honourable Sekou Marong is in the studio with us today, and he has also been helping us with the private members bill. We recently had the...
You know, Mimi, you have to send this video to your classmate so that they open their eyes. Because this MP, Sekou Marong, whoever the hell he is, and a couple of them, these people are sellouts. They are making a joke out of Gambia. They're using their positions, to entertain this criminality. This is a disgrace. They shouldn't be doing what they are doing. Because think about it. If you Gambia is a peaceful place. If you just want to go move there and, do your thing, nobody's going to bother you. You do your thing. No one is going to be in your way. But what is it about them that they're going up and down, trying to, create relationship between them and politicians and trying so hard to become, citizens right away. And it's all based in lies. You guys are going to see.
transatlantic slavery symposium, Homecomers Symposium, which was attended by 28 honourable members, National Assembly members.
Now, you come to the issue of a citizenship that they're talking about. You look at our law. Now, we are looking at two things here. The first thing that we are looking at is that we are trying to engage the presidents of the Republic of the.
This is the one I think, you know, he is in their pockets. Because this man, this Sekou Marong, people, Gambians that are watching me, I think he's from around Sukuta or Talinding, you know, one of those areas. Talk to your people there. Let them know this man is a sellout. This man is not there for your interest. He's using his position, you know, to commit fraud and criminality. That's not going to help the country. Who the hell is Juliet for him to constantly, whenever she needs him to show up, he shows up? So this Sekou Marong, we need to invite him to come to the Afridamus report because he has some questions to answer. But I'm not Blaxit. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. So Gambians, you better wake up and smell the coffee and see who the real problems are. I mean, Gambia has way too many problems as it is. You don't want to add on to it.
Gambia. All right, and see if there is any possibility of the president granting them a citizenship. If there's a possibility, we go for that one. But if there is no possibility in that area also, what we are looking at is that the possibility of amending the section of that, whereby at least we will come with a private member bill. But as I said, the private member bill is going to be a long process.
But it's not, in fact, a bill yet in Parliament.
Yeah.
Oh, not yet. It's not yet
not.
a bill in the Parliament.
Oh.
We need to talk to the citizenry.
Yeah.
That the Gambian people need to understand what these people want. This is why I told you that we are also looking at the other options from the president, because we understand that Jawara did it. Yeah, Yame did it.
Yeah.
So is it going to be a crime for President Adama Barrow also to do the same thing?
Do you understand what you're saying here? This is a crime. Do you know this? This is a crime. This man doesn't respect Gambians, doesn't respect the Gambian law, the constitution, the will of the people. He thinks two people's idea should take center stage over what the majority thinks or what the majority wants.
How hopeful can we be that the president can, of course, stamp this request that they're making?
Well, I'm very, very hopeful about this because when we visited the president, what the president told us, you know, was very impressive.
Gambian people, I hope you're paying attention. I hope you're seeing the type of idiots and sellouts you're giving power to. This man is supposed to be a member of parliament. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing this? He has to be on her payroll. But don't worry, they'll expose him.
You're going to act like you're above the law if people are reporting that you are supposedly paying off politicians. We have to follow up with that.
So today I have the honorable members with me, Honorable Solomon Saho, Honorable Abdullah Sise, and Honorable Sekou Marong.
So it's a talk show. It's called For the People, by the People. They expose the corruption and the misdeeds of the government. This is a side of her that you guys don't get to see. Because this is not on her channel where she's all bubbly, you know, where she turns off the comments. No. Over here, she gets to be questioned.
My question, though, is to Sekou Marong. Mr. Marong, what we are basically saying, legislators like yourself, for political expediency, are exploiting this Pan-Africanist agenda, not to achieve some of the things that they're saying, but to win an election. What do you say to that? That you could care less about this Pan-Africanist agenda, and all you are interested in is basically exploiting it for your own political means, and what happened in 2021. What do you say to that?
Did you guys hear that? Good question. Now let's look at what this weasel is going to say.
How do you? I don't see any. That's not fact. Anyway, to tell you, to be very.
Did you guys see he's stuttering? He's stuttering. He can't even answer it. He can't even answer the question straight.
Dealing with these people in order to win the election.
Do you guys think when the Jammeh was there, this Sekou Marong would be doing this? He's not going to be doing this. Sometimes African countries is better to have dictators there. Trust me, because so that this type of foolery can be weeded out. It's all pretense. He thinks he's going to get something from her. She has nothing for you. She has absolutely nothing for you. She thinks she's entitled to citizenship because, quote unquote, she's saying, oh, I sold my house in England, in the UK, my car, so I came here. I'm going to invest. There are many, many, many people in Gambia investing. Again, I'm going to repeat it. You cannot invest more than the white people that are there. White people have been coming there for ages, investing over there. We never hear anything from them. They are not over there making demands, asking for citizenship, or talking about, oh, I'm doing this and that for the Gambia. But these people, every time we turn around, I just made 2 blocks over there. Oh, I'm doing it for the Gambians. No, you're doing it for yourself. What do you mean you're doing it for the Gambians? Oh, I collected some money from, donation, on YouTube. So now I built boreholes. Even the money is now questionable. Oh, now I deserve to be the queen of the Gambia. This is what the Gambian people are dealing with. People. But they want to come, oh, it's about, oh, we all black, we all this. You cannot invest more than the white people or the Lebanese or the Chinese. I know some are not going to like that, but that is the fact. There is white people who built entire schools over there, built boreholes, and they're still doing it. So, what are you talking about? You cannot invest more than the Gambian people themselves. The last time several videos ago, I have debunked so many of the lies that some of them have shown, talking about. They would film places and say, oh, they are buying up all the Gambians, they are land from them. This is owned by foreigners, showing places that are owned by Gambians. So Gambians, you got to be careful. You're dealing with people who every single thing they put it on camera and show it to the world. They don't understand what's going on. They misrepresent the country. Misrepresenting the country, lying about the country. You think they have more cameras than the white people? How come we did not have these issues with white people? How come? Right now, as we speak, there are white people that's been coming to that country I'm talking over 30 years, 40 years. They've been coming to that country. Not a single problem you ever heard from them. No, you don't even see them on YouTube here. So let's not play these games.
There's nowhere, all right, in our campaign or whatsoever where you will see these people there. They are not even into any politics.
As the same way that we made our representations at the CRC, which was the Constitutional Review Commission, we made 81 submissions.
So I am now submitting 71 names. These are 71 names of people who would like to invest in the Gambia.
So, Gambian people, she's going to come and lie, talking, oh, I have 71 people's name who are going to invest in the Gambia. What are they going to be investing in? But now, if you go look at it, her latest video, she showed, oh, she went to the Tough construction area. Tough is a Gambian builder who is building an entire little, city. But she wants to attach herself to that. People, let's be real. Can she build at the capacity that TAF is building? Not even close. So this investment that she's talking about is all mumbo jumbo baloney. So if we are to be enticed by the investments, should that be based on race then? She made the answer easy for you, the Gambian. It shouldn't be about race. So if it's about investment, why don't we put your 71 people's name and their investment against the white people that are there, the Lebanese and the Chinese? Let's see who's investing more, or the Gambian people themselves. So this is a bunch of baloney, people. They just want to bring chaos and instability to the place.
It's got nothing to do with politics. And that's where you're all getting it so wrong. It's a citizenship. And what we ask for is a program of integration, assimilation, and initiation, after which we'll go through the normal procedures for immigration and ask for full citizenship.
You guys are seeing this, right? What other country can you go to and talk to them this way? Literally telling them, laying the conditions how and how they should do their citizenship, how the laws should be.
You got to put the name.
Fuller Sports, I'm glad you caught that. People, you guys know this. It is laughable, man. If you're such a Gambian, you understand. Yeah, you and Nyancho Kujabi, what are you doing with the Fuller hat on, dressing like a Fuller? You know, just going around with your, garambuban with the Fuller hat, the Gainako hat. Like, you guys do realize regular Gambians themselves do not dress like this. They do not dress this way. But because they think the outfit is what makes you an African, putting the, look at like her husband here. Yeah, they think wearing this stuff around your neck, this is what makes you an African or a Gambian. Go to Gambia. Go to Gambia. You're going to see for yourself. You're going to see for yourself if people are dressing this way. But she wants to come there and have the audacity to tell people, oh, I want you guys to change your laws and make me an automatic citizen. But you see, once she faced the pushback, now all of a sudden, she's like, oh, we just want to integrate. Well, we've been trying to tell you that for years. We've been trying to tell you this, but you didn't want to listen. Yeah, Audrey, you're right. With the cowrie beads running around. I mean, this is wild. This is wild. But according to them, this is the marker of being an African or a Gambian. You're standing out like a sore thumb. You don't want people to see you as an outsider or foreigner. But the way you're dressed like a tourist. Every day. Who goes around living in a country for so long? You're dressing like a tourist every single day. But yet you don't want people to see you as a tourist. This is crazy. This is crazy talk.
Of the continental Africans first. You don't come and think you could impose your own rules or your own way on top of them now. You see what their needs are.
You guys see, right? Race loyalty speech by the 6th region, MP Honorable Adrian. People, the man is already calling himself an MP. He's already calling himself that. I didn't make this up. You guys are seeing it for yourself. So they have an agenda. They have an actual agenda. So this is why they are pushing for that, automatic citizenship. So she tries to shed those crocodile tears and, all that lie. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
And you work with them. Because they have a plan, they know what they want as well. Who are we to come here, feel good dictate and tell them what this is, what that? No.
She is coming there, literally telling the Gambians that, no, you got it all wrong. You got it wrong. We are going to tell you how it's done.
Who are we to come here, feel good dictate and tell them what this is, what that? No.
You guys are going to see how aggressive she becomes.
That is what we are proposing. That is what we are asking for, because 15 years is too long. The rest of what you're saying is a misnomer. And we are doing that by two things. Firstly is consultation. Yeah? Honorable Sahu Marong, Suleiman Marong.
So the country's constitution says you have to be in the country for 15 years to be a citizen. That's what the laws of that land is. But since you came from, she probably, I don't know, maybe she lived in the same neighborhood as the Queen of England, Buckingham Palace. And then she's like, oh, I'm about to tell these people how I want it done. So a lot of other silly people online, they think they want to come and argue with people like me, oh, you're just hating. You're seeing the aggression here. And then they turn around and say, oh, you are a neo-colonialist. Oh, you're thinking like a colonial, you have a colonial mindset. I'm like, why don't you go read about what colonialism really is? What she is doing, that's what colonialism is. That's how colonialism happened in Africa. Don't you guys get that? But because they just hear words and they run with it, because somebody that they worship, because this Pan-Africanism is like a cult. So if their cult leader says something, they take it and run with it without even knowing the meaning. But they are behaving exactly like colonialists. So since I'm an anti-colonialist, I'm trying to stop this colonialist, but then they call me the neo-colonialist. Go figure. This woman is silly at best. Please, can she just go back to England and go drink some tea with the Queen and leave Gambians alone? I think that would be the best recourse for her. Seriously.
Sorry, Suleiman Saho started a pressure group, and we went to the National Assembly. We're here outside the National Assembly here in Banjul, in the beautiful smiling coast, the Republic of the Gambia, and we have made history today. We had the first sitting with multiple MPs, honourable Member of Parliament, about us, our citizenship. Justice Jello, right? Excuse my mistake.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I went there myself to have a discussion about it. And guess what happened? Let me tell you what happened, right? All of our submissions were lost. Okay? All of our submissions were lost. So what I have to say is this, yeah?
Ma'am, if your submissions are lost, you take it to a Gambian person, that's their way of telling you that you are silly. They are not about to present this draft to the people that matter, because those people are going to laugh at them. This is why they told you that it was lost. How convenient. I'm just giving you game to let you know. The people that are smiling with you, these people know better to come forward and tell the general population about your silly Pan-Africanist idea. It is one thing to walk around and wear those, the gab and pretend and say, I'm Gambian. They would laugh with you. But now, when you're talking about things, about laws and stuff, now you are in a completely different territory. You are name dropping the sellouts, the people that the regular people voted in. Is this what they want to spend their time on? We want to know these things. So keep name dropping. We want to know who else is in the mix.
I've spoken to Amy Bojang. I've been to see the Minister of Trade. I've seen the Minister of Tourism. I was with the Ambassador at Large for Investment.
You guys see how she's gloating? How many people you know? People, I'm telling you, there is an agenda here, a real agenda. Because everybody else is there. They just truly, you see, the ones that just want to go and get their land and chill. They said we're in Africa. You don't see them running around in these circles, going around trying to change the laws. They just want to live their lives. They're happy to live their lives. But now, why is she hell-bent? Why is she hell-bent on this? And you have to look at their connections, the people they talk to, the people they talk about. They said now they want to go around Africa, quote unquote, they want to unite all of Africa. These are sovereign nations. Who the hell are you to come and say, oh, you know what? You guys, your nations are not good for you. Now we want to change it. Look, I don't know what it was like, okay? Pre-colonial time whatsoever. Oh, during colonialism, I wasn't born. I was not there, okay? But the system that I was born into, which is the country, I want to maintain that. And many Gambians want to maintain that as well. If you think the whole of Africa was the same back in 1723, you might want to get yourself a time machine and travel back. But today in 2021, we are going with what we've known and always know to be true. But let's hear more of her delusional talk.
Management and business. I've spoken to Ibrahim Basenko. I think he's the spokesman for the president. I've been to the State House. I've seen Jibril Adama. We've spoken to who was around last night.
Oh, interesting. So Mimi, they didn't even. I'm pretty sure she's not going to talk about automatic citizenship. So now she wants to be the advocate for people who are born in Gambia. This woman never ceases to amaze me, seriously. She's like the gift that keeps giving. Anytime I choose, I'm like, man, I don't think I even want to touch her topic again. Boom, some new video pops up that I didn't see. I'm like, this is disgusting. This is ridiculous. Who the hell does this woman think? Who do they think they are that their voice should trump the Gambian people's voice? Oh, because you put on some dashiki, now all of a sudden you are a Gambian? That's not how it works. I don't wear that crap, but that doesn't mean I'm not Gambian. What are you talking about?
Dabahaba, who has said that he would as well. We've been to the president's brother's naming ceremony, spoken to his family, his driver. We even interviewed his nephew from Maja. Yeah?
The issue that you are fighting about, that is automatic citizenship. Am I right? Is that the issue? Yes or no? You automatic. Okay. And you've mentioned here that you've been working with a lot of lawmakers from across the political aisle. Have they informed you of our laws in the Gambia? Because as we speak, according to this constitution, this Gambian constitution, the 1997 constitution, there are people who were born in the country who are not citizens.
People, I want you to hear this part clearly. You would find out this westernized quote-unquote Pan-Africanists, these are the most selfish, narcissistic, wicked people. They think the world revolves around them. That victimhood mentality. This man is about to lay it out for her.
Of the Gambia, because their parents were not from the Gambia. So our constitution does not give automatic citizenship to anybody. There are processes that are in place. So I would have loved for the National Assembly member, Mr. Marong, to still be here, because it is one thing for these National Assembly members to be giving you all these thumbs up, you're doing great, you're doing that, but it is an other if they are not working towards changing the laws to make it at least right for people, because I think it is really a very, I don't see it happening, because the president by itself cannot make that declaration. It is a lawful thing, it is a constitutional matter, and unless the laws are changed, this struggle that you guys are waging will have to continue.
Okay, so are you aware of the draft report?
She's about to ask somebody what the draft report is all about. And let me see here in the chat, people are fighting. Jess Wadi. I mean, maybe you are just one of those people that like to focus on the negative side of things. Show me videos. Show me videos, not like the propaganda, because, you know, Visionary of Love just told you about the video I just showed last week about a black person who is there sexually exploiting, you know, women, not just in Gambia, but in other African countries. But you say, oh, Afridamus make it sound like white people are there living, they're just living in peace. Yes, they are. If they are not, show me videos of them not living in peace. Are you trying to tell me that every white tourist that goes to Gambia is there for sex? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but that's not the truth. So it's just overblown and over exaggerated. So if you see any white person, white people over there that cause problems like her, by all means, send me the videos. I'm waiting for it.
The draft constitutional report that came out.
The draft
in March 2020.
The draft that was rejected by Mr. Marong, the MP that was left, and others.
Guys, listen to this conversation closely. See, when you're faced with reality, you start being dumb. Do you not see this guy with his glasses? He's a nerd. He even pulled out the Constitution. You think he would know about the draft Constitution? That's all these people talk about. But he pointed to her that the type of Constitution, the law that she wanted, the same guy, that politician that she thinks is on her side, he is one of the people that voted against it. He's one of the people that voted against it. But Juliet, since you're so smart, how come you didn't know that? Maybe you should go check and see who voted against the draft, which would have favored you.
Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to take part in this very important debate that we're doing today. My vote for this draft is big no. Thank you.
So you see the looks on the Gambians' face. They are laughing at them. The car that Marong is sitting in was given to him by Blaxit. Hey, I hope she takes the car back after this show, finding out that Marong did in fact play her. You know, he did not vote for their interest, because he cannot bypass the interest of the actual Gambian people. How are you going to go explain this to the Gambian voters? Seriously.
What I'm saying here is and this is not like a debate between you and I. All I'm saying here is Mr. Marong, Majanko Samusa, and all the lawmakers that you mentioned here that you've been working with had a unique opportunity,
right,
as the only authority to have looked at that draft and changed anything that was in it, even the recommendations that were made by the CRC. If they did not agree with it, they had the sole power to change it. But they did not for political expediency. But the situation here is they have the powers to make the changes. They will not. When they wanted to change Section 91D of the Constitution, they did, without anybody's urging. So that's what I'm saying.
Now you're seeing that the MPs that you attach yourself to are in fact the people that voted against that. They are not going to do what you want them to do.
I'm Honorable Suleiman Sao, Blaxit. Where? For the part of the family, Blaxit. Okay. Honorable Member of
Adrian Ryan, and a thanks.
Honorable Lamin FM, Member of Parliament for Congolese. Blaxit.
Honorable Arabiso, Member of Gimara.
All right, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Those people voted against the draft you are talking about, because if they voted for that draft, is going to kill their political party. You think they're gonna allow their party to die over your stupid interests? You do not have enough money to buy them for them to allow their political interests to permanently die.
You got to put the needs of the continental Africans first. You don't come and think you could impose your own rules or your own way on top of them now.
So the bottom line is Marong played Blaxit.
Firstly, the whole constitution is political. We don't want to get involved in discussing that. You understand? We really don't want to.
Adrian is the biggest idiot. Dude, you're asking for automatic citizenship. You guys have been talking about constitution. What do you mean you don't want to be political? Changing a constitution is political, dude. Like, what are you talking about? But you don't want to say anything against them that's going to offend them. So he wants to backpedal by saying it's not political. Everything you said here from the beginning, you're talking about drafts and all that, that is all political. All political.
And we're not apolitical, so it doesn't make any difference to us what people think. We cannot even vote. So
you cannot even vote. That's why you shouldn't be talking about these things. Why are you running up and down with MPs, but you're saying you are not political? Come on now. That's why you shouldn't be talking about the politics. She keeps saying she's not political, but when you talk about changing a segment of the Constitution, that is political, ma'am. That is political. You go in there, the president hooking up with this weasel over here, that is all political. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Sometimes it can be very convenient for African dictators oppressing their people, misappropriating our funds, mismanaging the economy. And I'm not saying that's what Adama Barrow is doing. And at the same time, appeasing to the issues like Pan-Africanism and we are all Africans. But do you think injecting yourself into the internal politics, it's the way to go?
Not about being partisan or injecting myself in politics. We had 28 National Assembly members come to our...
Juliet, can I come in there?
Ma'am, do you understand that? Do you understand what you're saying here? This is a crime. Do you know this? This is a crime. The moment you try to change one's constitution and you're not there, from that point on, you've become an enemy combatant. But you're saying that is not political. That's crazy. Colonialist in blackface. The only difference is she's not like the white Europeans who came and strong-armed the people with guns. This woman is not a citizen of that country. She went there on her own free will. The country already have their constitution voted in by the people. So she's trying to topple the constitution of that country. She's a foreigner in a country talking about she is drafting their idea of what should be added to that constitution to bastardize the constitution. When you do a coup in a country with a gun, that's what they do. The military, that's what they would do. The constitution is what is suspended. They change it. You cannot change a country's constitution just by yourself.
If you are watching this and if you are part of the Gambian government, I implore you to cut all communication off with Blaxit. She is a person who is on the way out. Please don't allow her to drag you down with her. Please, I implore you, please do not do any dealings with this woman. And to any other people of any other African nation, please know who you are dealing with. You are not dealing with the best of us.
Guys, you've seen it. You've seen it. I mean, I'm not trying to convince you of anything, but her own mouth here. Actually, let's see. We got 10 more minutes to go. Yes, Mimi, I'll drop the link here real quick for another 10 minutes so we can chit chat on, because I want to hear your perspective here. But ladies and gentlemen, this is what is happening. And when people talk about, oh, we want to help Africa, whatever, Africa don't really need your help. You know, just go there on your own. And you have to respect the country's laws. Do not try to disrespect the country by pretending, saying, oh, it is the white man's law. You live in a country that is governed by white people and you respect the law there. Why don't you want to respect the same law where you're going? So it is a bunch of baloney when people try to use that excuse, which is not even a good excuse. Laws are laws, and we have to go by that. Whether you think it's colonial or not colonial, the laws are what they are. Okay? Mimi, welcome to the show.
Greetings, greetings. My brother.
Mimi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. What do you think about, I mean, I get it, like, even if they didn't discuss that, right? But what do you see, like, people like Sekou Marong, you know, instead of serving the people, every single time we turn around, you know, he's running up and down with her, and they're trying to use their own draft to be voted on, to be put into the constitution. What do you think about this?
I think somebody needs to put Sekou Marong to a stop. The reason why Juliet get to this point is because of Sekou Marong. Juliet know damn well that automatic citizenship don't even reach the final draft. The CRC cut it off. They cut it off. They know that. So that's why she's going hard. The reason why I don't even spend much time on this automatic citizenship, because I know it will never happen. Because it wasn't, if you watch the parliament session last year, they didn't even discuss about it. She went there and all that, but they didn't even talk about it. What they talk about is the children that are born in Gambia with their mom and dad are not Gambians. Those are the people that they're trying to see how they can give them citizenship. But when it comes to automatic citizenship, all the BS that she's doing running around with her big mouth, it's not even on the final draft. They cut it off.
So
I have a friend that works there.
Do you think, why is she doing this then?
I don't know what she's trying to prove. Like wasting all her energy going to the president. Adama Barrow cannot do nothing about that. Like a citizen can go and sue him and they can win that.
Right.
And I don't even see that happening. Like people like me and you, if anything like that happen, we can take it to the high court and that's going to be out.
Oh,
So,
no, I'm
and I know we're
definitely
not even going
suing.
to reach there.
Yeah, I'm definitely suing him.
Yeah, and we're not even, the thing is somebody needs to put Sekou Marong in their place. And I know Sabali did before, but you know how it's a season of politics, they're really busy.
Yeah.
Imagine if the opposition leaders know what they're trying to do because they don't pay attention on YouTube. It will be a disaster. So Juliet
Mimi,
don't even know what she's putting herself into.
Mimi, do you think she's doing this also for YouTube hype and
Thank you.
like trying to just continue being
To
the
have all that.
representing herself as the leader of the
Thank you. She
Pan-Africanist
is
movement?
so power hungry and she will do anything to prove people that she is relevant when she is not. When she is not that relevant. Go to the president, go to TAF and all that stuff. She's on TAF video. Of course, TAF is, I mean, he has his business. He's going to use her. I mean, like, I'm not saying use her, but she will like, I'm sorry, he will welcome her to come and promote his business. But that don't mean that people can go straight to TAF like, you have to come to me. No, you don't have to go to Juliet. You can go to TAF straight and have your 20% off. I'm going to say it right here. She's just trying to make herself relevant.
I
So
hear
with
that.
with that constitution, don't even worry about it. They cut it off. They cut it off. It doesn't even reach the final draft.
Yeah, because I would think these politicians are not that reckless because, that would spell disaster.
They don't even want us to vote.
I know.
Why would you think that they will let other people that don't have Gambian parents vote? They don't even want us that live in the diaspora to vote because they know we will manipulate everything. You know how we manipulate the politics over there. So they damn know that if they let us get that vote, it's over. So what makes you think that you can come and say, oh, give us that, we're coming back to Gambia and we need automatic citizenship? She just want to stay relevant. Ignore Juliet. She is so power hungry. That's how I see this. Because I'm like, why are you wasting your time going back and forth when that automatic citizenship don't even reach the final draft? They didn't even discuss it in parliament. They were discussing about something else. And I think those people like deserve to be Gambians, because if you are born and raised there, live there for 20 years, just because your parents are Nigerians, that's the reason why you cannot be a Gambian and you born there. It's not enough like reason to do that. And some of them are like feel so bad about it, because I talked to some of them and they say, why can they give us like a citizenship? We don't know anything about Sierra Leone. We don't know anything about Nigeria. All we know is Gambia. We deserve it, and I think they deserve it. But Juliet,
well, we still, either way, whether they put it there or not, we still got to counter these lies, to sensitize the people. But let me allow Fuller Sport to speak to, because we're short on time here. Fuller Sport, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
no
it.
problem. No problem.
Yeah, these Pan-Africanists are actually colonial people, because their goal isn't African unity. Their goal is African backyardism and African imposing on other Africans their way they think that people should live, their way that people think that they should be governed, and their way of thinking that how people's culture should be and how their just basically day-to-day operations will be. If this Jezebel thinks that, what makes this Jezebel think that she's entitled to citizenship when
because she's black?
When other Africans who go to different African countries have to go through red tape to get passports and citizenship. They can't just show up and say, oh, I'm African, let me get citizenship. My uncle had to go through red tape to get papers to work in different countries. So what makes her think that, hey, I'm here, roll out the red carpet for me and give me everything I want?
Well, because she said she was living in an ice box in England. So now she's here to, in Gambia, she needs to be, given top priority over
And
everybody
I'm gonna
else.
say two more things. I'm gonna say two more things. If you're of Jamaican origin, why don't you try to go over there and build something worthwhile where there's more Black people who you have an idea about the culture more than you do Gambian culture?
No, she said
Second,
that's a very good question. Go ahead.
second of all, there's Caribbean people who decided because of their belief in Haile Selassie and that craziness that it was befitting for them to go to Ethiopia.
Right.
And the Ethiopian government was like, well, you guys have to go through processes too. You guys can't just come over here and say, oh, we're going to give you land, we're going to give you this. No, you have to go through the same things. What makes you think we're going to put you before our own citizens? And it's crazy.
Delusion. It's delusion. I hope people that buy into this Pan-Africanist stuff, would wake up and smell the coffee. Know that, countries have laws, they have constitutions, and it's not about your skin color. Remember, those countries, everyone there is Black. So if the Black people there have to leave and abide by those laws, who are you not to? But I see what it is. It is not about, the Blackness is used. Because when I hear people say, I'm Black, they are saying, give me advantage over everybody else. That only works probably in America or maybe in England or in these white countries, but it's not going to
Hold
work.
on. I want to answer something in the chat real quick. Well, BR Haile Selassie was a warlord and an imperialist, and I'm going to stand by it. Perhaps you need to read more books on Eritrea, Somalia, and Djibouti to find out the levels of his collaboration with European powers before you speak. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have for black righteous folks. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up? I had got kicked off before because my phone is hypersensitive, but I just wanted to add that all these people that are Pan-Africans are minions of Dr. Ericana. She is the leader of all this, and she is the one.
Sorry to cut you off. Man, you know what? It's like you were reading my mind.
She is the ringleader. No, make no mistake about it. That's why she's performing arts. This Black X, Juliet. She's pretending like she's amassing herself into the American, past. She's from Britain. She doesn't have no association with us, but yet she's Kunta Kinte and all this other type of talk. She's the lineage of that and everything like that. It's performance arts. Their goal is to try to make it seem like that Americans are so lost, because Dr. Ericana says all the time, oh, the children of Africa are lost in the forest, lost in the world, and they need to be reclaimed. They need to return to Africa and help build Africa and all this stuff. This is her goal. But why is Dr. Ericana still in Tennessee? Why don't she take her ass back to Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe could surely use her expertise right now. In fact, I'm gonna do a video about how fucked up Zimbabwe is, and she never talks about that because she's in cahoots with China, she's in cahoots with Britain, she's in cahoots with the racist Democrats of America to try to get us,
She's building Wakanda City in Ghana.
She's not building anything. That's just a facade. Just like all the other projects of Ghana that has never been built, but they got all the monies and people are talking about lately. If you check on my videos and videos I'm about to do about people complaining about this president of Ghana that has aborted and abandoned all these projects that they promised before he came to be a president. And he just totally walked away from all their promises. And now he's looking to hustle us. Ain't no Wakanda City going to be built unless China is going to be trying to build something. But again, they're going to be owing China all the builds that they're building. And who they're looking to help pay that? Us.
That's what this is all about.
So let me Dr. Arikana lives in Tennessee.
In an old plantation, a literal old plantation that she
you gotta be kidding me.
I'm
You're
not lying
joking,
to
right?
you. No, I'm not lying at all. She bragged on a Pan-African show, a video. I have it like a year ago where she was
She
talking
took it
about
there, huh?
she lives there. She loves the fact that, you know, to have that experience of, you know, she sees herself as an overseer, and she is a true wannabe colonizer. She is a true Black racist. This woman is demonic. This woman, I believe, is a witch. This woman does have no care and concern about the migrants. She doesn't talk about Haiti. What about the Haitians? Don't they need a helping hand right now? Because surely they could be helped to go to Africa right now versus what's going on in Haiti right now. Do you hear her saying people about that? So that lets you know that these people are frauds, they're liars, because if that was true, the next Noor would have people on her platform talking about helping Haiti out, right? Pan-African is supposed to be universal. It's not supposed to be just Africa, but you're only talking about Africa. So what is it? You're lying. They're talking about benefiting the rich elites of Africa to usurp power from the people of America and the people that's dumb enough to sign on to that database, that ADDI database. Do you know that database has a $500 million bond attached to it that has to be paid back with an unknown person? I believe China. She says, oh, it's a guy from the diaspora. He went ahead and did a $500 million bond. All we have to do is pay $1 million towards it, and the resources of Africa can pay the rest.
You know what? This is almost like transatlantic slave trade in reverse.
It is. It's happening all over again, and people that signing up for this database don't understand that they're subjugating themselves to a $500 million bond and any other thing that she's attaching to it, which is the kind of fake city, which is a museum, she said, cryptocurrencies, she said everything. She's just throwing things to it, or just anything on it.
Something you just said stood out to me, which is, you know, I'm a tie to, it makes sense because it's weird how only the countries that they want to dwell in, when people do the DNA test, those are the countries showing, saying people are from there.
Exactly. Nigeria, Gambia, Ghana, and Senegal, Tanzania, and what's the other one? One other one. But all the ones, they are in cahoots with this fake fraudulent DNA test. It's not actual factual. I did research on that.
Oh, Sierra Leone.
Yeah, Sierra Leone. It's only entertainment purposes if you look at the small writing, and it's only a mere guess. They're only going off of what you say. When they give you like the beginnings of who you are, they ask you where you from, and if you put down African American, they already know what to go off of. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're just saying I'm a nondescript person without any information and then tell you who you are. They're asking you a questionnaire of who you are, where you're from, so that they already know what they're going to tell you. They already know how they're going to direct the conversation to tell you where you're from, because it's aligning up with the propaganda and the agenda that they have, which is to colonize, you know, America, the free Blacks that they want to colonize. That's what they want to do. They want to take away our liberties and freedoms as an individual citizen of America, claiming that we are slaves of old. We came from wooden boats. We are lost, you know, here in America. We're so struggling and everything like that. But all the migrants are coming here. Wouldn't you want to tell them if it's so bad here? Well, if it's so bad here in America, shouldn't you tap them on the shoulder and tell them how bad it is so that they don't come and experience what we're supposedly experiencing?
I say that all the time. Fuller Sport was gonna say something.
Yeah, I just have a real quick question. If people are going off this DNA test, because I had many people come to me saying, "Oh, I'm Fulani, we're cousins," and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I just like raise my eyebrows at them, and I just say, okay, and shrug my shoulders, because I know if I start Halan Pular, they're not going to understand the word I say. But my question is, why trust DNA tests from the same people who you say are oppressing you and are causing you so much harm and things like that? So, you know, those same people, now you trust them for like DNA results
Because it's
because that's where the
convenient.
Not only that, don't you know that they store your information for better days? And like if you performed a crime, they know how to get a hold of you. If your real cousin performed a crime and your DNA test is there, they know how to get your cousin. That's what they don't want to tell you. And they're storing your shit forever for they can make up, you know, other diseases or whatever the case may be, and figure out how to get us later by having your information stored in databases. That's why we should never ever do it. But everybody's doing it like it's Christmas time and it's love and it's happy times, and y'all don't understand. You're lining yourself up. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. It's mind blowing. But I hope that people are waking up to see, you know, the reality. Mimi, what do you have to say?
Okay, this is the thing. I know she used these tactics. Oh, look at Ghana. That's why Ghana economy is so like huge than Gambia. And I told her the other day that, listen, Ghana is 10 times or 12 times bigger than Gambia. So we're gonna expect the economy to be way bigger than Gambia. And secondly, Ghana don't give out automatic citizenship. The last time I checked, you have to live there maybe 9 years or whatever. And they are very picky who they're going to give it to. And Gambia doesn't have the resources to vet people. We cannot just come and say, hey, come because we are all black and give you, we like it or not, everywhere you go, you have good people and bad people. So how are we going to vet people? We cannot check background, like background check to people. So how are we going to know that these people are not pedos or criminals, or we don't know. We cannot
But
do that.
Ghana, they can't compare Ghana to Gambia. Ghana is a larger economy. Like Ghana is way
Exactly.
bigger than
Gambia is
Gambia.
2 million people.
Yeah, Ghana is like what, 50 million people?
Exactly. Then again, they use Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone don't give automatic citizenship too. They did what Jammeh used to do. Jammeh did that before, like, and I don't have a problem, like when any president or Gambia president did that to give it to African Americans or Black British. I don't have a problem with that. You can say, okay, these people been living here for like 5-10 years and they're doing the right thing. So let me give them citizenship. That can happen. The president.
But there's a process though. Why can't they just follow the process?
And I understand it. Adam Barrow is not doing it now. Yaya Jammeh used to do it. And she like Blaxit used that tactics too. Oh, your former president used to do it. That was not the right way, but he did it. Hey, it's okay if you do it, but that don't mean that we have to follow that process. You understand? Follow the constitution. My problem is anybody can go to Gambia. They can do whatever, like if they follow the laws, they can live happily. But if you're trying to influence our constitution, that's a problem.
That is a big problem because that's the
you
law of the land.
Exactly. That's like our Bible, our Quran. You trying to, like, I don't even know how to express this. That's a big issue. And like I said, if the people, like the opposition leaders, know exactly what she's trying to do, it's going to be a problem for her. And I keep telling her that you need to humble yourself and go sit somewhere and sit out of this. You cannot come to our country for Black cities in Gambia for like a couple of years and demand us to give you automatic citizenship. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, with her garambuba and
exactly.
her Gainako hat. Full of sport. She's sporting your hat, bro.
No, you know what the problem is? And I've made videos about this in the past. These Pan-Africanists are trying to issue regime change, and they don't even know that they're doing regime change. And you can't do that, okay? Especially when your regime change is based off of some totalitarian my way or the highway. people aren't going to go for that. You know, then you're going to destabilize the country. I'm going to say one more thing about it. Hypothetically speaking, let's say that people, like, the Constitution was changed, and they said, okay, we give Black people from wherever citizenship. Do you know how much chaos that would cause in that country?
A whole lot.
Because you don't know who you're bringing in there.
Well, you just saw the news I played here, the Nigerians in the Gambia robbing people. Just that alone. Think about that. You see? So people need to wake up, you know, from their sleep. We are already dealing with our own regional problems, you know, and you know, she should just follow the process, and instead of, because now she's making all the other people who have good intentions, you know, just her alone is causing doubt in what those people's intentions are.
This is why I said no open borders unless it's for trade. Because Africa don't have the resources to check people like that, like in America or in Europe. To say that there are good Nigerians living in Gambia with legit business, but you have few bad apples that will come and spoil it for everybody. But
And
like,
can I
I
just
don't
add?
to open borders like that unless it's trade. Yes, because you open the borders, it's gonna be a chaos.
Right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know if anyone really knows this, but Dr. Ericana, as the African Union ambassador, was fired for fraud. And if you go to ADOS or Empowering ADOS, I did an interview on there 4 days ago showcasing why she was fired. And the fact that she covered it up, claiming that it was behind her talking against colonizers like France and whatnot, shows you the type of integrity that she lacks thereof. And, you know, and she's moving forward with her lie, like she's untouchable. And that's her mentality. Like, you know, ambassadors and diplomats and stuff like that are untouchable as far as being fired normally. And they don't go to jail for murder and all kinds of stuff. Even some have been accused of forced labor and modern day slavery in different parts of the world. That was revealed in some of the videos that I've done, like people from Asia and stuff like that. Like, I want to say, I don't know the city exactly, but people have talked about these so-called diplomats that have immunity.
Diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, they have immunities. And so she got a taste of that power as an ambassador, and she did not know that she could get fired. So she did her frauding in the AU and as an AU ambassador, you know, claiming the diaspora for a pageant, these different diaspora groups and this and that and the other. Over $200,000 she defrauded the African Union under the guise of using their name but pocketing that money, and that's why she was fired.
You know, why? How come
that
this Pan-Africanist somehow they, you know, it's like it's like clockwork. Their name somehow just keeps getting attached to some sort of fraud that has to do with money.
They're all frauds. All Pan-Africanists are frauds in one way or the other. Either they're frauding you of the truth, a reality of what their real intentions are, or frauding for money. That's what they're about, or trying to colonize or change constitutions for their own benefit and not the people. That is about the Constitution. So again, she's very dangerous. Dr. Ericana is very dangerous. The main minion of her is Juliet, a Black X. That is the main minion of Dr. Ericana, alongside of Benex Noor, alongside of Pan-African Strikes Back Again. That bitch has a picture up with her recently. Like, he's proud to be standing around this beast. But she is a beast. She's a boa constrictor. She is a liar. She's a frauder. And this fake Wakanda talking about it's going to take 20 to 30 years. Do you know what can happen between 20 to 30 years where this project is not going to come and materialize and you got the money anyways? Come on. It's a fraud.
Yeah, this is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, we're coming to the end of the show. I want to give you guys the last word. Mimi, go for it.
I want to tell Juliet to tell her people the truth. The automatic citizenship didn't meet the final draft. It was cut off. So she needs to like stop proving that she's relevant in Gambia, because she is not. She can go take a picture with the president, members of parliament, whoever it is. We don't care. We have enough problems in Gambia to think about. Automatic citizenship is list of our concerns. We're still fighting for poverty. So what makes you think that the people that have all access, a passport that have all access to the world, we're gonna give them all the attention and forget about the poor Gambians? I don't understand that. So my fight is for the Gambians to have opportunity like everybody else. That's my final word. Stop being relevant. Stop telling people that it can work. It's not gonna work.
Thank you, Mimi. Thank you. Thank you. For Black righteous folks, go ahead.
Okay, Dr. Ericana has had this ADDI database for 13 months, collecting millions of dollars by now, getting people's personal information on this database and adding as she goes whatever she wants. These people are in jeopardy. And I'm suggesting that you guys do not sign on this ever again. If you did not know, now you know. And if she really cared about Ghana, you would help out the sewage situation. You would help out many other situations that you could do. Or Wakanda freaking Fantasy City tells you all you need to know, because she doesn't care about the common folks on the ground. She cares about robbing the ones that can believe in her lie. That's a fact, and that's all I got to say. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. Always come around.
Thanks.
All right. Fuller Sports, what you
Yeah.
got?
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. The message I just have for these Pan-Africanists is that you guys need to think with logic instead of emotion, because you guys are so driven by emotion that logic goes out the window, and you end up maybe affecting other people because of your emotional plight and things like that, and because of your own self, like your own personal desires, you know. And the thing is, these so-called Pan-Africanists, like Brother Polite was a
Oh
quote
God,
unquote,
another one.
yeah, another quote unquote Pan-Africanist. You see what he's going through. Yet
Yeah.
you think we're gonna subscribe to this madness, us continental Africans?
Absolutely not.
No, we're not. And one more thing, the Caribbeans who do subscribe to this, you guys need to wake up and smell the coffee and stick to your traditional culture and not try to usher these new ideas in that they have. That's what I'm gonna say. And that goes for the Africans on the ground too, you know.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the end of the show, even though it's been fun, but at some point we gotta end it so that I can, go get some food to eat and we'll return for some more. Not today, but tomorrow we'll have another show. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what Blaxit is doing over there in the Gambia, as you can see, whether it's for hype or whatsoever. But either way, it is obnoxious, it is ridiculous, and it's disrespectful at best. You cannot go to a place and try to tell them how they should run the show. That's not how it works. Okay? You need to respect the constitution of that country. And if you're talking about, these people, they don't have, the white people don't respect them. So what are you doing when you come there? We don't see the white people do this. But you like telling us, this is the colonial laws. Let's read this law that you're calling the colonial laws. Let's read through it and see how much benefit you are getting from it. So anyone that's into this Pan-Africanist movement thing, please open your eyes and see what is happening here. You don't need any of these people for you to be able to go to Gambia or wherever and have a peaceful life. You don't need to meddle into the politics of the place. No one is going to discriminate against you. No one is going to take your property. It is all lies all the time. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you guys here again tomorrow. Oh, Amilka Kaldu. Yeah, I love Kaldu. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm out.